I'm 26 years old and I don't have any friends. It's a hard pill to swallow, but that's just my reality. And it's been that way ever since I was a kid. I was a loner from first grade all the way to 12th grade during my school years. And then unfortunately, my loneliness caught up with me in my early 20s and in my mid 20s. I'm 26 as of right now, and I have no friends. It is what it is. You just gotta adapt. My life is very basic. Work, home, and that's it. I live in Orange County, California. Beautiful area. I've been here for approximately 7, going on 8 years. And, I came from LA County, actually, specifically Long Beach. And once I graduated from high school, I officially moved out here to Orange County. And I told myself, I'm gonna do things that I didn't do in Long Beach. I'm gonna finally come out of my shell. I'm gonna spread my wings. I'm gonna meet all these amazing people and, make all these awesome friendships. Have a best friend. And if he has kids, his kids are going to call me uncle, and vice versa. Like I was on that crap. Yeah. But lo and behold, I'm 26 with no friends. It sucks sometimes. But, I honestly think that friends aren't everything, when you think about it. When you think about how people behave, we prioritize necessities. What are those necessities? Food, water, shelter, roof over your head. Those are the things that we prioritize. Everything else in life is secondary, including friendships. I'm not saying that we should undermine friendships, and by all means, I don't want to come off as jealous. I don't want to be the outsider looking in, the type of person that looks at friendships and gets jealous. Like, I don't want to come off as that kind of person, because I'm not that kind of person. It's just when it comes to comparing yourself, it's kind of inevitable, because you're on social media, Instagram, Facebook, you're on the internet, and you see all these people doing cool things with other people who they call their friends. Things like eating out, going to the movies, and then you look at yourself, as a loner. It's like, wow, I'm missing out on life. I don't have any of those things. I don't have a best friend where his kids call me uncle or auntie. Like, come on. But if you're watching this video and you're in the same boat as me, I just want you to know that you're not alone. Okay? I'm a grown man and I don't have friends. Am I alive? Yes. Am I still fighting? Yes. I'm still here. Just doing what I do best. I'm putting in the work. I'm showing up at my job. I'm doing everything that I can to stay busy. That's another thing about Orange County. If you're not from the area, you're from a different state, there's a lot of road rage and traffic here. So my apologies if you hear something in the background. But going back to this issue of not having friends, I blame my parents. Those were the people that I blamed, when it came to, not having any friends and growing up the way that I did. I like to point the finger at people. I like to point the finger at my mom because she raised me. I would often say things like, man, my mom really did raise a hermit. You know, she didn't sign me up for sports. She didn't let me hang out with friends in or after school, excuse me. She didn't let me hang out with my friends after school. She was always assuming the worst case scenario if I asked her to hang out with my friends. You know, I would always put the blame on my mom, on other people. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. You know, it's up to me. I can't live the rest of my life pointing the finger at people. I can't live the rest of my life blaming my parents for who I am today. I have to write my own story. And some of you are in the same boat. You're blaming your parents for how you grew up. And, you know, your reasons for blaming them may be valid, but the big question is, what are you going to do now? Are you going to sit and blame people? Or are you going to take action? You got to take action. You got to change for the better. So, going back to me, as a 26-year-old who doesn't have any friends, what's life like again? Once again, work, home, point A to point B. And that's pretty much it, really. So, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for giving me your time. I hope this video resonated with some of you. And I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you.